Good afternoon, welcome to Fliptv News. I'm Christian Chuku. Let's take a look at the headlines. DSS arrests syndicates selling new naira notes. And just in, another container falls in Lagos. Naira swap, Tinubu's outbursts averted looming crisis. An article tasks CBN on extension of naira swap deadline. And a video of Nigerians fighting at ATM trying to make withdrawals. So let's take a look at the news in detail. The Department of State Services on Monday said its officers have arrested an undisclosed number of persons involved in the sale of the new naira notes. The DSS, in a statement on Monday by its spokesman Peter Afunaya, accused some commercial bank officials of aiding the crime. The statement was titled "DSS Intercepted Syndicates Selling New Currency Notes, Bank Official Implicated." It read, "The Department of State Services hereby informs the public that it has intercepted some members of the organized syndicate involved in the sale of the naira notes. In the course of its operations in this regard in parts of the country, it was also established that commercial bank officials are aiding the economic malfeasance. Consequently, the service warns the currency racketeers to desist from this ignoble act. Appropriate regulatory authorities are in the same vein urged to step up monitoring and supervisory activities to expeditiously address the emerging trend. It should be noted that the service has ordered its commands and formations to further ensure that all persons and groups engaged in the illegal sale of the notes are identified. Therefore, anyone with useful information relating to this is encouraged to pass the same to the relevant authorities." Justin, a day after a container crushed the occupants of a commercial bus in Ojuelegba, Lagos, another container has fallen on Monday. A tweep who shared the video said his sister recorded the scene on her way to work. He said, "January 30th, 2023, my sister on her way to the office before tar company going to Yonokbaja." Meanwhile, the Lagos State Traffic Management Agency has said that the falling 40-feet container occupied 90% of the road. LASTMA said a 40-feet container laden truck fell at Sawmill Inward Dokpemu under bridge. It's occupying 90% of the road. Our men are on ground doing the needful as effort is on for recovery. On the naira swap, a group, Arewa for Asiwaju, has hailed the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, for speaking up against the January 31st deadline initially set for the swap of the old naira notes for the redesigned notes. The group said Tinubu's declaration at Obiakuta, Ogun State, forced the federal government to extend the January 31st deadline to February 10th. This, the Tinubu support group said, saved the nation from going up in flames, following the anger which pervaded the atmosphere before the sudden 10-day extension. Arewa for Asiwaju were attributing the sudden 10-day extension of the naira swap to what it called Tinubu's sagacity and courage, said it was his courage and purposeful leadership shown by the Asiwaju that compelled the government to go back on its earlier no-going-back stance. According to the group, Nigerians owe Tinubu gratitude for stepping in and risking everything to change the obviously bad situation occasioned by the initial January 31st deadline. A statement by the group's North Central coordinator Aliyu Pass, released in Kaduna on Monday, partly read, "Whether anyone wants to believe it or not, it is the courageous sagacity of Bola Ahmed Tinubu that helped the action of the CBN." An article, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has added his voice to the call for the Central Bank of Nigeria to extend its January 31st deadline for the swap of old naira notes for the new currencies, while acknowledging that the monetary conversion policy is a global practice. Mr. Abubakar said he was constrained to align with the position of many Nigerians who have called for the extension due to the difficulties people go through in swapping the currencies, especially those in the rural areas. The former vice president, who made the call in a video message posted on his verified social media handles on Saturday, said the pain caused by this policy was not intended for the initiative and urged the government and regulatory agencies to extend the deadline. The ongoing policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria to redesign the naira has generated wild reaction across the country. This exercise is a worldwide practice, and there's nothing new with it, especially as the January 31st deadline draws closer. A great number of Nigerians, out of good conscience, have expressed apprehension about how the policy and deadline will make life more difficult for them. The large numbers of our unbanked population, whose businesses, especially in rural areas, will find it almost impossible to meet up with the deadline of January 31st to change their old banknotes to the designed currencies. On Nigerians fighting the scarcity of the naira has further plunged many bank users in uncertainty as to accessibility of the new naira notes. The Central Bank of Nigeria had, in a statement, extended the January 31st deadline to February 11 to assist in the return of the old naira notes. Currently at the banks, people are frustrated at the unavailability of the new notes, hence the difficulty in surviving without holding cash. Looking at that video, we've come to the end of the news on Flip. I'm Christian Chuku. Thanks for watching. Click on the like button. Bye for now.